the currency for future, there are only going to be two things which are going to be important in future. And the currency for future is going to be one, education, and second, which is going to be innovation. And while we are seeing the pandemic around us, the third thing which is becoming very, very important is technology. So I feel that a mix of innovation along with technology is going to be the driver of future, not only for businesses. I would say that it is going to be the driver for nations as such.
So hello and welcome to another episode of Winners Talk. Now, as I promised, I will bring you experts from all across the world to help you with your professional and business skills. And today we have Dr. Apoorva Palkar. Hello, Dr. Apoorva.
Hi Nilesh.
So, as you all know, there's a important topic, and we always discuss that about the innovation. So, what is the importance of innovation? And today we have a very, very special guest, as I said, Dr. Apoorva. Let me give you a brief introduction about Dr. Apoorva. Dr. Apoorva Palkar, she has been in leadership position for last 15 years. She led a business school as a director for 10 years and later worked at a top media conglomerate as a chief operating officer education for 5 years. She has authored more than 5 books in marketing management and social media marketing. She has published more than 25 research papers in referred journals. 8 of her students have been awarded PhD under her guidance. She has closed 22 MOUs with various universities and countries with state government. Dr. Apoorva Palkar is currently working as a director, innovation, incubation, and linkages at Savitribai Phule, Pune University. And as I said, she is the best person for us to discuss on the topic of innovation. So once again, Dr. Apoorva, welcome. And can you tell us about the importance of innovation in business, please?
Thank you, Nilesh, for having invited me on this platform.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you for joining.
It's an honor to be here with you to talk to you on this very, very relevant topic, which is the importance of innovation in business.
Yes.
As it is being said that, the currency for future, there are only going to be two things which are going to be important in future. And the currency for future is going to be one, education, and second, which is going to be innovation. And while we are seeing the pandemic around us, the third thing which is becoming very, very important is technology. So I feel that a mix of innovation along with technology is going to be the driver of future, not only for businesses. I would say that it is going to be the driver for nations as such. It would be the ones who are really strong in innovation, those who are very, very strong in technology are going to lead the world, is what is being said and what is being professed. So I feel that this is the right time to discuss on this very, very relevant topic.
Exactly.
And, businesses, needless to say, that unless there is an innovation that comes through, will not lead to the new products, new services, will not cater to the changing needs, especially the times like the pandemic that we are undergoing. This is a typical time where a lot of things have changed. Lifestyles have changed for people. The new normal is very, very different from what existed about 6-7 months back. And therefore, there is a great need for innovations to come in businesses. And I'm sure while we start discussing, I will also showcase and speak to you about how people have actually transformed in last 6 months to ensure that they move with the wave and try and bring and tweak the products that they actually have to kind of meet the requirement of people around them.
Right. Thank you for sharing that, because as you rightly said, the innovation is important aspect of any business, even for their growth and for their survival as well. And especially in the current scenario when we're talking during this COVID pandemic. So, can you please share examples, the stories that you came across and, must be,
absolutely,
motivating for all our viewers as well.
Absolutely. So I've been fortunate to be seeing a lot of businesses currently, and these are all the budding businesses that have come to me. Typically, I look at only the businesses which have something which is new, different, and innovative. Either be the product or the service or a model. If there's something new and different, that's the only business that we take up in the university. I am very happy to share with you that there have been certain companies who've been with me, and there's been one company which is working in artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Okay.
And virtual reality.
Yes.
So this is the space in which this company was offering customer experience. And there was a lot of talk and howl and cry that in the month of April and May, when everything was closed, especially
Exactly.
almost
Suddenly.
across the world, I must say, everything was closed. And that was the time when the promoters of this company felt that we need to redefine a few of our offerings. And this is where they reached out to a lot of realtors, so people who were wanting to sell the houses. They reached out to automobile manufacturers because people are wary to get out of the house. Touch and feel was not there.
Exactly.
So this is where this company used, virtual reality in a very, very big way. And I'm not surprised that there was also an event company which was led by a newspaper in India, which is Economic Times, hired them to conduct a complete online event using the virtual reality platform. And I'm very happy to share with you that in terms of Indian rupees, they were able to make a billing of the top line was close to around 60 lakhs in just roughly 3 months. And they've been in existence for only about 6 to 7 months. And the pandemic kind of opened up new horizons and opportunities for them because they were futuristic. And I'm sure if they were only driving this business prior to pandemic, and if pandemic was not there, they would have had a real great struggle to enter into the market. I would put it this way, that pandemic gave them a huge opportunity to enter into the minds of the people and became a very, very big success. Similar such other product categories also that came into the light. There were certain product categories where I would say that the innovation had already happened, especially the healthcare sector. The innovations had already happened, but the testing had not happened for COVID. So scaling up to the need of the products which were relevant to COVID. Another company that I've been very closely associated with in Indian space again is a company called Deep Tech, which had developed, it had used X-rays and CT scans to develop and to detect COVID and using AI and ML, and at a very low cost. The cost was almost 1/4 the cost of the normal test. And they had done this kind of testing for tuberculosis. They had not done it for COVID. But they came very quickly and they scaled up. They used big data to bring this particular product in the market. So various categories of products have actually emerged in the pandemic owing to a lot of innovation that has raised. And one important thing that I want to kind of drive here is it's just not about innovation. Is the ability of the businesses to understand how this innovation will work in a given context. The context is also becoming very important.
100% right.
So in a given situation that we are into, and if we look at the graphs of the consumptions across the world, we had the data. On FMCGs, we had a look at the kind of product categories across Europe, UK, Australia, US, India, all the places where the modern trades have gone for a big toss, So in the month of April and May, the consumption patterns were very, very low for lifestyle products, for example, However, having said this, the food category actually worked very well. And so the shift and the changes that we saw across the world is the shift that was towards healthy food. And people wanted to have more of homemade food. People became more conscious about the make. They became more conscious about the outcome, the nutrition, etc., etc. So there are companies which actually quickly scaled up to this style,
Challenge.
and a lot of innovations that were brought about in different markets and different categories. And I think that this innovation in business is likely to remain for some more time,
Right,
and
right.
this will be the new normal, is what I understand. And
You rightly said.
probably in countries like India, where still people are wary to go to a restaurant, they've opened up, but they're wary to go to a restaurant. The bus services have opened, but people are wary to go there. People just
Mm,
don't want to go to the malls and the retail outlet for the fear of touch and feel.
correct.
Online shopping has become the next biggest thing. Various platforms have come by, so innovations have come also in terms of the delivery. Innovations have come by in terms of storages. So various, across the value chain in the business, everywhere we see a lot of innovation that is really happening.
Right,
For
right.
example, even the storage for
Uh-huh.
the product, so there was a typical mentality across the world. Everyone wanted to kind of store things,
Mm-hmm.
so this another challenge and problem which was faced by the manufacturers in terms of the warehousing. The warehousing facilities have changed. The way warehousing is
Mm,
happening in most of the parts of the world. There are innovations which we're seeing even in the warehousing facilities. So across all the whole complete value chain, I see there is a lot of shift and a change that is really happening.
right, right, right. So thank you for sharing all those examples. Now, when we say, the companies and businesses, they are innovating, but as you maybe, you might be, coming across with these leaders, the people who drive the business. So what sort of different particular skills or mindset you see in them? Because the challenges were for everybody, but these are the people behind the businesses. They actually, decided to go ahead in spite of all the challenges. So do you see any personal traits which are different than normal business people who, tend to set back, and these people who take the benefit of innovativeness and, go ahead?
Okay. To answer your question, if I was in a situation where the COVID had not hit the world, the situation would have been different. The traits would have been different. It was all
Mhm.
driven by the personal passion and aspiration of an individual, and the
Correct.
confidence level that an individual had in terms of chasing his dream. So
Yes.
that is what was driving most of the people who have been in businesses, and to a large extent those who have become successful. uh,
Mhm.
so this was a major factor. But in the pandemic, let me tell you something. People who are already in the business, at
Mhm.
any stage of the business, the introductory stage of the business, some at the mid stage, some of them at the mature businesses where they're handling the mature businesses, they are governed by what we call it as being pushed to the wall, what we say,
Ah,
so
yes, yes, yes.
don't have a
Stuck on the
choice.
wall. Yeah.
So I just don't have a choice. People who already have an investor in place have to showcase the result to get the next level of an investor. People who are in the initial stages need to drive and showcase something to get at least some kind of an investor. So the sentiments have been very, very low, and it's only been the promoters or the leaders in the businesses who are actually driving the teams together and trying to keep
Right.
the businesses together. It's just been their internal motivation to survive this vicious cycle that they're into, where operations are hit a big way. There is a problem of the cash and demand supply. So problem today in the market has been that of demand and supply,
Mhm.
and this is put these leaders into a very, very difficult situation. So
Right.
I would put it this way, that it has been a lot of self motivation and self drive, and the energy levels that people had to gather from within themselves, because they really did not have a choice. But
Mhm.
if they were not in the pandemic situation, I would put it this way, that it would be the set of people who are miraculously different, and who are, of course, they are brilliant. They have superb capability of analyzing. They have superb capability of understanding the competitive space. They have a lot of confidence in themselves and their strengths that they really drive in, and their ability to understand the market and consumers. So all in one kind of people. just not about domain, just not understanding what you want to offer to the market. What is becoming significant is an overall personality, which is driven by a business sense from within him. So
Right,
these
right,
are
right.
the traits, and these are the leadership skills that are really required. And of course, last but not the least, the ability to take risk, which is
Yes.
has to be really very, very high in an individual or in a human being to become really successful.
Right, right. No, no. Thank you, Dr. Apoorva. Now that leads me the next question. Like in the innovation, do you think is innovation is a structured process or unstructured process? How do you feel?
Actually, innovation is a state of mind. I would put it this way.
Okay.
Okay, so if you ask me, can I put it in a structure? There's a possibility of doing so, but for that, I will have to orient my mind in a different way, which we call it as a design thinking. So if
Ah,
I
right,
have
right,
the
right.
ability to put things in a design structure, and I orient my mind to think in a specific direction, then I can structure the innovation. But when I'm looking at an outcome that has to come from the innovation, what is most important is the creativity. So
Correct, correct.
creativity is very essential. Along with creativity, what becomes even more important, and I've been talking about these three things, is the analogical thinking, the critical thinking, and design thinking. So
Right.
if you have all the three of them with you, so to answer your question quickly, can innovation be put in a framework, in a structure where you can deliver an outcome? I feel that it has more to do with your inner self and your ability to comprehend to your environment and to understand what will work and what will not work, and tweaking the product categories or services or whatever is your offering that you want to give to the market, or solve a problem or a solution to
Correct,
some.
correct. Bring something useful to the market. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that becomes very essential. So it's like uh, some part of emotion, some part of creativity, some part of logic, some part of
Logic. Yes.
intelligence, which gives what we call it as innovation.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, rightly said, rightly said. So, when somebody as a startup or a business owner thinking about creating some sort of innovation, so which are different areas they can look at? I mean, only the product and services or marketing? Which are the areas where innovation can bring the value?
I think every space, I would put
Okay.
it could be every space under the sun where we could bring in innovation. In fact, today I was in talk with one of the professors of IIT Madras, and where we started talking about a different concept, and that concept is, how do I see synergies in, how does nature teach me to bring out products?
Okay, interesting.
So that was a unique thing. I mean, I had heard about it from creative thinking perspective, but this was a great analogy where a thought which spoke about the concept of a fish swimming leading to some kind of a products that get developed. It spoke about the lotus leaf and the absorption capability of the leaf that led to development of certain products.
True.
So,
Yes.
innovation can happen in all spaces and all spheres. Nature and the way in which we look at the nature. So, maybe the water that gets filtered in a natural way. What is the process for doing so? And can that be replicated in developing a product? So you name a thing in your day-to-day life and you will be able to spot some kind of an innovation there. Be
Right.
it
Right. Right.
entertainment, there is innovation. You have the Netflix of the world, be it the Airbnbs of the world, be it a taxi service that we are talking across the world, Ubers of the world, and in India we have the Olas of the world, which came in as an innovation at some
Exactly.
point in time, or Amazons of the world. So every sphere, every space, and every utility, be it lifestyle, be it health, be it food, be it
It's like
consumption, be
open
it
canvas, as
it's
I
an
said,
open
we can't
canvas. Yes,
uh,
yeah. It's be
we
it
can't limit
vehicles,
to certain
cars,
things.
yeah, cars, electric cars, two-wheelers, you name a thing, and there can be innovation in every sphere of life. So I think it's a big slate, and even the university, when I'm dealing with it, I could have someone from the department of botany coming out with some innovation, someone from technology coming out with an innovation, someone from history come out with an innovation.
Oh my God.
So there are spaces. I mean, I don't think there is any space where innovation has not touched upon. So
Right,
innovation
right.
is the every part of every human being and an individual everywhere.
That is a very, very useful comment, because many people all think, they try to block themselves in this bubble, saying, no, maybe they are part of this particular industry, they cannot innovate. But your comment just now, made them aware, the blast to the bubble, that, innovation can happen in each, like everywhere in the universe, in this place. So
Yeah, but I would just like to comment here one more small thing, that
Mhm.
sometimes technology helps to scale that.
Scale that, okay.
Yeah. So technology has become a big kind of a
It will
uh,
catapult the thing.
yeah, it is a catalyst. It is catalyst in terms of scaling up. Maybe a big data which helps you, maybe an artificial intelligence that helps you, maybe IoT, blockchain. So all these things are trying to help and support from the innovation perspective, and many newer areas are suddenly opening up because of the technology. And where
Right, right, right.
innovations are happening. I mean, some years back, we never thought that blockchains could be used for
Yes.
university results. So where we could have security that could, so security is becoming very important in today's time. So there is an innovation even in that space. So technology is by far the driver for innovation in a lot of spaces.
Right, right. No, thank you so much, Dr. Apoorva. So, do you have any final comments to wrap up the interview for our viewers about the innovation?
I'm happy to see more and more number of people come into the innovation space. That has been my passion, my mission in my life, to ensure
And
that
I
I
see you working very
excite
bravely
more
hard on
number
this
of
thing.
people to come into innovation. I excite more number of people to come into startups. I excite more number of people to start their own businesses. I excite more number of people to work in their own domains in an innovative manner, because I think that will give a immense inner satisfaction to people in whatever spheres of life they are into, and that will be the driver for them individually in their own personal goals as well.
Thank you once again, Dr. Apoorva. Very, very useful interview, because in the short span of, let's say, this 15 to 20 minutes, and you gave so much of important, we say golden nuggets. People can use this straight away, and many people, they might have some blockages about innovation. You told us in a very simple manner, along with the examples, where innovation can be, and there is like open canvas. So thank you so much. My dear friends, those of you who watched the interview, as you can see, I will put contact details of Dr. Pua somewhere around the video. So if you have any questions, you want to reach to her or contact her or be in touch with her or follow her, I will place her social media channels around this video. And feel free to share this video with your friends and family, and your co-workers, so that they will also get the important updates just like we had on this innovation. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. And Dr. Abua, thank you so much for joining us on this Winners Talk.
Thanks, thanks so much.
Thank you.